Alright folks, we're about to dive into the dusty, sweat-soaked underbelly of one of rock's most iconic riffs. You know the one, that gritty guitar growl that hits like a freight train through a Texas thunderstorm, followed by that infamous "a-haw, haw, haw, haw" that sounds like a coyote laughing at the moon. Yeah, I'm talking about ZZ Top's Grange. If you've ever air guitared in your car or nodded along at a dive bar, you've felt its pull. Even if you're pretending right now that you're too cool for classic rock, admit it. This song sneaks into your soul like barbecue sauce on a white shirt. But here's the hook. What if I told you this boogie beast isn't just a foot stomper? It's a sly nod to a real-life den of delights, a place where secrets were currency and the law turned a blind eye. Until it didn't. Stick around as we unravel the wild, wacky history of Grange, from its seedy inspirations to its courtroom dramas and cultural earthquakes. We'll debunk myths, drop obscure trivia, and yeah, I'll throw in some puns so bad they'll make you groan louder than Billy Gibbons's amp. Let's boogie, baby. But remember, what happens in Grange stays in Grange, or does it? Picture this. It's the early 70s in Houston, Texas, where the air's thicker than a politician's promise, and ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons, Dusty Hill, and Frank Beard are grinding away trying to carve their niche in the blues rock scene. They're not yet the bearded icons with spinning guitars. They're just three dudes channeling the spirits of Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf into something fresh. Now the spark for Grange hits like a lightning bolt in a honky-tonk. Billy Gibbons, the band's guitar wizard and chief lyricist, gets wind of this legendary spot just outside the sleepy town of Grange, Texas. We're talking the Chicken Ranch, folks, a brothel that's been operating since 1905, disguised as a humble chicken farm. Yeah, you heard that right. Chicken Ranch, because nothing says discretion like naming your house of ill repute after poultry. Rumor has it, during the Great Depression, the madams accepted chickens as payment. Talk about clucking your way to a good time. Gibbons, ever the storyteller, latches onto the buzz. See, in 1973, this place is making headlines thanks to a nosy Houston reporter named Marvin Zindler, who blows the lid off with his exposé on KTRK-TV. Zindler's got that perfect 70s mustache and a flair for drama, railing against the bawdy house that's been winking at the law for decades. Sheriffs looked the other way, politicians partook. It was Texas's worst-kept secret. Gibbons pens the lyrics in a flash. Rumor spreading around that Texas town about that shack outside Grange. Minimalist poetry, right? Just enough words to paint the picture without spilling the beans. Musically? Oh man, it's a Frankenstein of blues legends. The riff borrows that relentless boogie from John Lee Hooker's Boogie Chillin'. You know, that 1948 gem where Hooker growls about partying all night. Add a dash of Slim Harpo's harmonica swagger and a pinch of Mississippi Delta dust, and boom, Grange is born. But here's a fun what if. What if Gibbons had written about an actual farm? We'd have lyrics about milking cows instead of, well, you get it. A moo 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 doesn't quite have the same ring, does it? Self-roast aside, as your flannel-wearing narrator here, I gotta say, if AI like me could time travel, I'd crash that writing session just to see Dusty's bass lines emerge from the haze. Urgent, gritty with a smirk. That's how this track sparked, folks. And trust me, the shenanigans were just getting started. Fast forward to the studio, where ZZ Top is cooking up their third album, Tres Hombres, Spanish for three men, because why not add a little south-of-the-border flair to their Texas twang? Recorded at Bryan Studios in Tyler, Texas, and Ardent Studios in Memphis, this record's their breakthrough, blending blues purity with rock edge. Grange slots in as track 2 right after Waiting for the Bus, and it's no accident. It's like the band knew this riff would hook listeners like a fish on a line. Release day? July 26, 1973, smack in the middle of Watergate scandals and oil crises. But who cares about politics when you've got a groove this infectious? Shenanigans ensue almost immediately. The album drops just weeks after the Chicken Ranch shuts its doors for good on July 31st, thanks to Zindler's crusade and Governor Dolph Briscoe's reluctant order. Coincidence? Or did ZZ Top's anthem accidentally fan the flames? Nah, but imagine the chaos. Radio DJs spinning the track while locals whisper about the real shack. The single hits in 1974, climbing to number 41 on the Billboard Hot 100, not a mega hit chart-wise, but culturally. It's exploding. Bars blast it, bikers adopt it as their rally cry, and suddenly everyone's humming that haw-haw. Funny aside, Frank Beard, the drummer, ironically the only beardless one, later joked they grew those famous whiskers to hide from the law after songs like this. Okay, not really, but wouldn't that be a plot twist? Wordplay alert. This release wasn't just a Grange opening, it was a full-on range war on boredom. The band tours relentlessly, playing dives where the air smells of beer and rebellion, and Grange becomes their set closer, stretching into epic jams that could last 10 minutes or more. Shenanigans peak when bootleggers start circulating live versions, and fans debate if the mumbled lyrics are code for something naughtier. Billy's delivery is so slurred, it's like he's whispering secrets through a fuzz pedal. What if they had auto-tuned it back then? We'd have crystal clear confessions, and the mystery would be gone, poof, like a bad hangover. But no, the rawness is the charm. Album sales soar past 1 million, cementing ZZ Top as Texas Titans. And here's a pun to chew on. Tres Hombres wasn't just an album, it was a tress-your chest of riffs, with Grange as the crown jewel. Gritty, urgent, smirking all the way. Now let's crank up the volume on how Grange skyrocketed to mythic status. Think Icarus, but with more fuzz and fewer feathers. Controversies? Oh, we've got 'em! Fast forward to 1991, when La Cienega Music Company, owners of John Lee Hooker's catalogue, slaps ZZ Top with a copyright infringement lawsuit. They claim Grange lifts too much from Boogie Chillin', that primal boogie blueprint. Courtroom drama ensues. Experts dissect riffs like surgeons, arguing over notes and grooves. But here's the twist. The judge rules in ZZ Top's favor in 1995, saying Hooker's 1948 track entered the public domain due to a missing copyright notice under old laws. Boom! Case dismissed! No damages, no drama. Just a reminder that blues is built on borrowing, baby. Satirical swipe. Imagine if every bluesman sued over shared riffs. Courts would be busier than a chicken ranch on payday. Culture-wise, this song ripples like a stone in a swamp. It inspires the 1978 Broadway musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton in the film version. Yeah, the same chicken ranch story, complete with Burt Reynolds as the sheriff. ZZ Top's tune becomes synonymous with rebel spirit. It's in movies like Armageddon, Shanghai Noon, even The Simpsons. Obscure trivia? The band finally played Grange in Grange, Texas in 2015, over 40 years later, at a festival, closing a cosmic loop. Myths debunked. Some say the song caused the ranch's closure, but nope, Zindler's TV takedown beat the release by weeks. And backmasking? Play it backward and you get garbled guitar, not satanic whispers. Unlike Led Zepp's Stairway, where folks hear devilish deals, Grange just sounds like Billy chuckling in reverse, probably at the absurdity of it all. What if there was a hidden message? Eat more chicken? Nah, that'd be foul play. Irreverent pun. This track didn't just rise, it granged the cultural landscape, turning a brothel into a boogie legend. Controversies made it tougher. Culture made it timeless. Haw haw indeed. All right, as we wind down this riff-ridden ride, let's chew on the legacy and lingering weirdness of Grange. Over 50 years later, it's ZZ Top's signature stomp, outliving trends like grunge-punk and whatever TikTok's peddling now. The band's still touring, well, minus Dusty Hill, rest his soul, and every show ends with this beast, often extended into a jam session that's part therapy, part exorcism. Ripple effects? It's influenced everyone from garage bands to hip-hop samplers. Hell, even video games like Guitar Hero immortalize that riff for finger-blistering glory. Obscure trivia. The Chicken Ranch reopened briefly as a museum in the 80s, but closed again. Talk about a tease. Weirdness abounds. Fans pilgrimage to Grange, snapping pics of nothing, since the shack's long gone. What if ZZ Top had never written it? Would the brothel fade into obscurity, or spawn a chain of fast food joints? Chicken Ranch, finger-licking forbidden. Self-roasting. As your narrator, I've spun yarns edgier than this, but damn if Grange doesn't make me wish I had legs. Or at least a fuzzbox. Legacy-wise, it's a testament to ZZ Top's genius, simple, sly and sticky as Texas tar. In a world of overproduced pop, it's a grunge-punk reminder that less is more, unless we're talking beards. Energetic? Check. Irreverent? Double check. Respectful? Absolutely. These guys turned blues into gold without selling out. Whew, what a trip. If you dug this deep dive into ZZ Top's Grange, smash that like button, subscribe for more rock lore laced with laughs, and drop a comment. What's your wildest Grange memory? Share the video. Spread the boogie like it's contagious. Until next time, keep it gritty, keep it urgent, and remember a ho 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 to you all. Peace out.